I'm Logan Reyes, and today I'm marrying the woman who noticed me before anybody else did. However, the majority of the Hartman family would still respond, I'm just a handyman, because that's what they see when they see paint-stained, jeans, a beat-up Ford parked crookedly outside, and hands with calluses from years of work. Kama and I live in a little flat. It's strange, isn't it? How much people hold on to appearances. They see a wrench in my hand and assume that's all I am. But they never ask what kind of foundation I'm laying behind it. Camila knew, though. She always knew. We met while I was repairing drywall in her friend's studio apartment. She was barefoot and smiling because I had somehow stepped right into a tray of primer. She teased me, calling me Paint Boy. I teased her right back, called her an uptown girl. 1 date sparked something. 5 dates turned into forever. Still, when I proposed, I told her, let them think I'm just a handyman. Let them talk. Let's find out who really cares. About you. Camila hesitated. Not because she was embarrassed, but because she knew exactly what her sister Belle Hartman would do. Belle, born with a silver spoon, later demanded gold-plated replacements. Her judgment wasn't keen. It was petty. But it was persistent. She didn't just look down on me. She tried to pull Camila down, too. From day one, Belle treated me like some disease that would eventually go away. She whispered things during family dinners, just loud enough for others to hear. Camila, his kind doesn't believe in 401k. Plans. I hope you're saving some money. She once asked me, so, Logan, you ever think about doing something more? I laughed, because to people like her, more only counts if it shines. But neither Camila nor I faltered. We planned a modest wedding. Vows, not extravagance. No big announcements. No pageantry. A tiny church that smelled like lilac and cedarwood. Camila's favorite. She wanted something real, something untouched by Belle's opinion or the Hartman name. That morning, I stood in front of the mirror, fiddling with a tie I didn't even like. My hands, scarred and rough from years of welding and tiling, looked out of place against white linen. I caught my own reflection and smirked. Let them judge outside. Jordan, my best friend since middle school, honked. He's not just my best friend. He's my business partner. The CFO of Reyes Developments. Yeah, the same company building hotels and real infrastructure, kept under wraps. I called it strategy. Jordan called it covert wealth. You sure about today? He asked. You mean marrying the woman I love? I replied, hopping in. Yeah, absolutely. He chuckled. Let her family treat you like hired help one more time, he said. They'll see it soon. Enough. Everything in the chapel was as we planned. Dusty roses, ivory linens, warm lighting, soft music, but I still saw the side eyes, heard the whispers. That's the groom? The handyman? I saw my cousins laughing as I walked past, but I ignored. It all because when Camila walked in, she didn't just walk down that aisle, she floated. Satin and lace, hair pulled back in a low ponytail, eyes locked on mine like there was no one else in the room. She was coming home, and I had arrived before the ceremony even began. I took her, hands in mine. Her heart was racing. I'm nervous, I whispered. She smiled, unfazed. I've faced worse than flower-throwing bridesmaids, she joked. The priest spoke. We exchanged vows. It was perfect. Until I saw her. Belle, back pew, arms folded, gaze sharp, her sneer wide enough to crack a mirror, and then her voice cut through the chapel like a bullet. This wedding is a farce. Camila's hands trembled in mine. I squeezed gently, grounding her. She didn't turn around, but I did. Belle, standing there in a tight designer dress, clutching a clutch like a weapon. You're marrying a handyman, Camila? Seriously? How embarrassing. A murmur rippled through the pews. Someone whispered, oh, no, she didn't. But Belle wasn't done. You're settling for a man who fixes sinks and wears cheap shoes? This is the best you could do? Camila flinched. My heart broke. Belle waved a manicured hand like she was on stage. "There's a reason your mother didn't. Come today. She couldn't stand to see you throw your life away." Camilla's mother had said no to the invite, and Belle used it like a dagger. Camilla's lips quivered. The chapel went still. Jordan, from behind, leaned in calm as ever. "Not yet," he whispered. I nodded, because Belle didn't know. Reyes Developments wasn't just a name on a truck. That classic car out front, it was mine. Paid for, fully restored, not rented. I had built something real, something she couldn't touch. So, let her talk. Let her believe she was winning. At the reception, the truth would speak for itself. Camilla looked up at me, eyes flickering. "I'm so sorry," she murmured. I didn't think she'd actually... "We're finishing this together," I told her. "She doesn't get to ruin this." We nodded at the pastor. He continued. Vows exchanged. "I do," said, louder than Belle's noise. When we walked down the aisle, people clapped, but not joyfully. It was cautious, hesitant, tainted. Outside, as the photographer got people in line, Jordan smirked. "Still sure?" "Let her have the spotlight," I said. "I'll take the stage when it matters." He laughed. "Patience of a monk," he said. "Timing of a man who built it all by hand." And then we drove off. In that vintage car Belle thought was borrowed. She didn't realize the road we were on was one she could never follow. Camilla sat beside me, folded into herself, staring out the window. "Too cold for a June day," she whispered. I didn't answer. I just listened to the hum of the engine, the tires over pavement. She was always like this. Quiet under pressure. Graceful even in chaos. "You didn't let her win," I said gently. "You. Just let her speak. That's different." Camilla finally turned to face me. "It's still our day," I said. "And the reception. That's going to show them everything we didn't say." She smiled. "Just a little." "You think they'll notice?" I laughed. "They won't be able to miss it." And that's precisely what we did. We laughed, danced, and raised a glass to the life we were growing. And every uncertainty that had been placed on us vanished when they realized that I wasn't the man they had always thought me to be. I simply allowed them time to show their true selves, and now they were eating while standing in a structure I had constructed. Food I paid for while witnessing a love that they believed would end proved them wrong, one lovely moment at a time. Camilla stood glowing in the light from the chandelier, delicately and precisely tapping the side of her champagne glass. The gentle clink cut through discussions and attracted everyone's attention as it reverberated around the room. I observed how she stood